Hi everyone, you're on VM24.com channel and today we'll be disassembling Xiaomi 12 Pro. First of all, we need to remove the SIM card tray. For this we use a special tool, gently push out the SIM tray and set it aside. Next we need to heat the back cover surface to approximately 70 degrees Celsius or 160 degrees Fahrenheit. To do this, we use a heating mat, but you can also use a hair dryer. And after about 10 minutes, we can start separating the back cover. For this, we use a thin plastic film. We insert it into the gap between the back cover and the middle frame and gently slide it along the edge, cutting through the adhesive layer. This film can be a protective film from a new display or any thin plastic sheet from an office supply store. Please note that the back cover may have additional adhesive around the camera area, so be extra careful there. So we carefully move along the edge, cutting through the adhesive. Do not insert the film too deep, since we don't know what components are located underneath. Now we can gently open the back cover and see what is inside. There is nothing attached to the back cover itself, so we can set it aside. Next, it is best to cover the camera lenses. For this we use a special protective film. Please note that we apply the film around the rim, not on the lenses themselves. After that, we move on to unscrewing the screws at the top section. For this we use a 1.5mm Phillips screwdriver or Phillips #30. It is very important to place the screws on a dedicated surface in a specific order, since they differ in size and color. Also, please note that there are two non-magnetic screws located near the camera area. We remove them with the tweezers. It is a good idea to take photos of the screws layout at every stage of disassembly. Also, please note that the black screws are longer. If you insert a long screw into the wrong hole, you can damage the motherboard or other components. After removing the screws, we need to disconnect the bracket or connector lock. Most likely, the bracket holds the flash connector. Gently lift the bracket with a non-metal tool and disconnect the flash connector. Next, we can remove the cover with antennas and NFC. Carefully lift H, disconnect the cover and set it aside, along with the bracket. After that, we use a non-metal tool to disconnect the two battery connectors. It is best to also disconnect the interboard flex cable connector and place it under the battery connector so it doesn't accidentally reconnect. Now we move on to unscrewing the bottom section screws. Again, we use a 1.5mm Phillips screwdriver. Make sure to keep the screws separate from the upper ones, since they may differ. Then we remove the bottom cover with a speaker. Gently lift it from the edge, raise it slightly and remove it. As we can see, the speaker is mounted on this cover. Next we disconnect the connectors. The fingerprint sensor, maybe vibration motor connector, the interboard flex cable connector, and the two coaxial cable connectors. We also need to release the cables themselves. We disconnect the display connector and the interboard flex cable, and remove the flex cable completely. And pay attention, the arrows on the flex cables indicate the direction toward the motherboard. Next, we carefully disconnect the second interboard flex cable from the motherboard. Since it is glued to the shield and the rear camera area with a heat-conductive adhesive foil, proceed carefully. Then we release the coaxial cables, taking great care not to damage them. Find an angle where you can easily pop the cables out of the clip. After that, disconnect another connector, likely the fingerprint sensor connector, and remove the subboard. On the subboard, the SIM connector is located on the inner side, and the microphone is under the shield. In the display frame, we can see the vibration motor, and underneath it is likely the fingerprint sensor. Now we can disconnect the charging port flex cable. Gently lift it from the edge, do not pull by the flex itself to avoid damaging the traces. Regarding the microphone opening, at the bottom the microphone has an L-shaped design, there is a protective gasket behind it, and the microphone body is positioned on the side of the subboard opposite the microphone hole. So, if something is inserted into the microphone hole, the microphone itself cannot be damaged that way. Now we move on to the motherboard. First, we disconnect the camera connectors. As you can see, the cameras are connected by heat-dissipating foil, so it is better to preserve it. We disconnect the front camera, the rear camera module, and remove them together. We disconnect the connectors carefully. The front camera should be also covered with a film to prevent dust from getting on the lens. And we set the cameras aside. Then disconnect the last rear camera connector, which is glued to the display frame. We will remove it later. Next, we disconnect the coaxial cable connectors. Release the cables from their clips on the motherboard and move them aside. Now we can remove the motherboard. Carefully lift it and set it aside. After that, gently remove the last rear camera. Lift it by the base carefully, it is glued to the display frame. Check that everything is fine and set it aside. Regarding the microphone opening at the top, the situation is the same: an L-shaped hole, a protective gasket on the other side, and the microphone body is on the back of the motherboard. If something is inserted into the microphone hole, the microphone itself cannot be damaged this way. Finally, we move on to removing the battery. As usual with the Xiaomi devices, there are two brown pull tabs. Fold them to the sides and read the printed instructions carefully. According to them, we need to pull the outer tabs upward to detach the battery. Under the battery there is a transparent adhesive protective layer. So that is it, the disassembly is complete. Thank you for watching and see you in our next videos, or on our Telegram channel or on our website.
Okay guys, now we're done. Thank you for watching. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, read our articles on our website. take care of yourself, and until next video.